Should we do this? Okay. Okay, hey, BOOZHOO! Welcome back to the show. We've got a very special song for you today. This is by Iron Maiden, and it's called Run to the Hills. White man came from across the sea. He brought us pain and misery. He killed our tribes, he killed our Cree, he killed our game for his own needs. We fought him hard, we fought him well. Out on the plains we gave him hell. But many came, too much for Cree. Oh, will we ever be set free? Riding through dust clouds and barren waste, galloping hard on the plains, chasing the redskins back to their holes, fighting them at their own game. Murder for freedom, the stab in the back, women and children are cowards attack. Murder for freedom, the stab in the back, women and children are cowards attack. Run to the hills, run for your life, run to the hills, run for your life. Soldier blue in the barren waste, hunting and killing their game, raping the women and wasting the men. The only good Indians are tame, selling them whiskey and taking their gold, enslaving the young and destroying the old. Selling them whiskey and taking their gold, enslaving the young and destroying the old. Run to the hills, run for your lives, run to the hills, run for your lives, run to the hills, run for your lives, run to the hills, run for your lives. And there you have it. Run to the hills. Iron Maiden. And okay. Okay. BOOZHOO, Weenie Mooshane. Hello, sweetheart. What are you doing? Just teleporting into the show in dramatic fashion. In dramatic fashion. Yeah. This is how I make entrances now. That's a pretty good entrance. Yeah. You know how Sylvester Stallone? This is a true story. Sylvester Stallone, before he goes to like a pizza parlor, he goes in and he talks to the management and he gives them a cassette tape, actual cassette tape. They have to find one of them old boom boxes. Yeah. And he gives them a cassette tape with the theme song to Rocky. And he says, hey, when I'm going to come in about 10 minutes, and I want you to play this music at maximum volume. Yeah. And then, sure enough, he walks in, and over the loudspeaker you hear, bum ba da bum ba da dum bum 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 ba ba bum ba ba bum 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 ba da bum ba dum ba dum bum bum. And Rocky, or Sylvester Stallone, he just starts, running around the room with his arms up in the air. Yo, Adrian! And every time, without fail, that's what he does. That's not true. Or I might have made that up. But I think that would be a good way for Sylvester Stallone to go into a restaurant. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum. Sequoia hummingbird. Sequoia hummingbird. Sweetie pie, Sequoia is here. BOOZHOO, Sequoia, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, MJ. MJ's here too, sweetie. Well, let's get the show on the road. All right. Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO, and over here, the lovely and the talented Natasha. Ikadon BOOZHOO Weenie Mushane. Say hello, sweetheart. BOOZHOO Gakina. Hello, everybody. And over here, the rock star cartoonist and occasional lead guitar player of our songs, Michael Lyons. Ikadon BOOZHOO Niji. Say hello, brother. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. And I am NANABOOZHOO. Maybe I already said that. I don't know. La-dee-da, I just like to hear our morning intro song. Welcome to the live stream podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Huh, sweetie? You tell him, baby doll. Yeah. No, we're not a Sesame Street spinoff. I don't know where that got started. What? Have people been saying that? Yeah, everywhere I go. Hey, are you that guy from Sesame Street? I'm like, no, that's Ernie. But, so I feel like I got to constantly reintroduce the show. Hello, we have nothing to do with that Pride Parade they call the Children's Television Workshop. Pride Parade? What do you mean? Oh, you know how Sesame Street's gone all woke. You know, they're always getting transgender people on there. Oh, it's transgender story hour. Here comes Gonzo in a dress. Oh, here's, Tickle Me Elmo's two dads or whatever. Yeah, it has gotten kind of woke, hasn't it? Yeah. You know. Just sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. Oh, don't say gay. Yeah, please. Don't say any of that crap. They're kids. But, you know. Still raining. Gabe, give me one. It's still raining. Gabe, give me one. Still raining. At least it's not snowing. There was snow on the ground when we first got up. I know. I didn't know if it was frost or snow or what. But now it's raining again. Give me one. Minaway. Yeah. Minawa. It's raining again. Yeah. What can you do? Nothing. Just sit by the Ishkode. Have some coffee with your friends. You know. I was watching this guy talk about the end of the world and all the things that are wrong in the world on this video. He goes, yeah, I was having dinner with some friends the other night, and I was trying to explain, you know, the one world government, the corporate media, and the degradation and, you know, blah, 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 and how everything's, you know, so terrible in the world. And he goes, you know, it's weird. As I talk about this, it seems like whenever I'm talking about how the world's coming to an end, I happen to be sipping on a nice glass of wine at a restaurant or something. He goes, we do live in a matrix. It's kind of like you watch the media and you go, oh, yeah. Oh, war and famine and pandemics and mind control or whatever. But then you shut it off and you look around your room and you go, you know what, my life's pretty sweet. Yeah. My life's great. It's all cozy and we don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, it's all cozy. It's 8 in the morning or 8:25 or whatever. And, yeah, so does the world suck or is the world sweet and amazing? I think it's sweet and amazing if you just don't watch the news. I'm going to go back into what I was like in high school where I just didn't even know what was going on anywhere. I didn't know the difference between liberal and conservative. I was just like, I don't know. I don't think about those things. I'm getting to an age where I don't even want to care. I don't care anymore. Sequoia says, missed playing with you all yesterday, but walked with some friends to the Indian cemetery to pray with the ancestors. Nice. Yeah, those cemeteries are good places to pray. A lot of spiritual activity goes on in a cemetery. And they're usually beautifully serene. You know, they kind of blend the spirit with the nature in a cemetery. My apologies for misspelling your name, Sequoia. No offense meant. How dare you? How do you spell Sequoia, for crying out loud? That's a tough word. I misspelled beauty the other day on our thing. Yeah, I saw that. Did you fix it? I think I fixed it. But part of me was kind of like, who cares? Spelling, that's a spell, you know. That's how they try to put a spell on you. Tell you, oh, these are the rules. Beauty should be B-U-T. Beauty. But no, that spells butt. You know, what are they doing? What are they trying to do to us? On this Ishkwa Anima E Gijika. It's after prayer day, sweetie. It's just another manic Monday. Whoa, whoa. I wish it were Sunday. Anima E Gijika. I wish it were Sunday. Do you? No, I don't care. I like Mondays. Don't rainy days and Mondays get you down? Nope. Rainy days and Mondays don't really get me down. Ishkwa, Anima E, Gisha Good. After prayer day. After prayer day or Monday. Do you get down on rainy days? Sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes I miss the sun. Yeah, me too. But right now, not really so much. Because Heavy Flow's here, sweetie. Oh, really? Hey, what's going on, Heavy Flow? Welcome to our show. Have a seat. Pour yourself a cup of black medicine water or a cup of the old tea, anibishabu, or makare mashkiki wabu. Here's a little Ojibwe lesson. Anibish is tea, and it's also the word for the leaf itself, the tea leaf. And if you drink tea cold, it's anibish. But if you drink it hot, it's anibish shabu. Abu. Did you know that, sweetie? I did know that. Really? How come you know that? Because I watch your show. Oh, yeah. I'm always talking about this. Abu is a liquid you sip. So in black medicine water, when they talk about coffee, you have to sip it because it's hot. You know, so you say makare, black, mushkiki, medicine, wabu. We don't call it black medicine nibi. It's not black medicine water unless you're drinking it cold, which I always have like one gulp of cold coffee every once in a while. You know, the Keurig doesn't make coffee very hot, but I know. What you gonna do? Nothing. Just drink lukewarm coffee, I guess. We could go buy a new one. Yeah, but the pickup still isn't running. Got to get a new battery, but those batteries are heavy. I need a car to go get the battery to get the car started. I think it's time to call Chad. Get Chad to come over with his pickup and help us out. Yeah, Chad's a real man. We have a friend who's a real man. He's got a pickup, shaved head, fixed our plumbing, jumped the pickup. You know, he's a Niji. He's got those real man skills. Anyway, but you know what I wanted to talk about today? What's that? The Great Flood. With all this rain, it reminds me of something. Does it remind you of the story of the flood? It does. It reminds me of the story of the Gitche Mushka An. Gitche. Great. Mushka An. There's a flood. And all across this stationary plane realm that we live on, with a dome over our head and revolving stars, and a revolving sun and moon. Every old story from every people, whether it's Anishinaabe people or Jewish people or Chinese people, everyone has a flood story. And so this is what I heard about our story with the flood. You see, back in the days of the grandfathers. Oh, so this is the story of the flood and of the creation of Turtle Island. Mishike Minase. Mishike is a turtle, and Minase is an island. And that's what they call America sometimes. That's what they call America. Make America great again. Yeah, America's always been great. That's right. You saying America's not great? What, ain't you a patriot? Donald Trump, if that is your name, which I doubt. Whatever. I don't hate Trump. Mishike Minase, Turtle Island. So, back in the days of the grandfathers. They said that, when we first came, when we were first created, everything was great. We behaved, Creator gave us rules, and we obeyed the rules. Laws of nature. But then we started to make up our own rules, started to follow the laws of man. Basically saying, do what you want, There's no good or evil, it's all relative. Haven't you listened to the Buddha, And so the time came where people started to behave really badly. The family broke up. Brother turned against brother. They started to fight over territories. They started to cheat on their wives. They started to steal and lie. They started to just really misbehave. They weren't honoring the earth, and they weren't honoring their families, and they weren't honoring Gitche Manadu, They became very selfish and very evil, wicked. Just carrying on getting drunk, all of that. So, Gitche Manadu looks down and he goes, oh, look at this. Look at what I did. I created these people, but now they're just, what a bunch of lowlifes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wipe away. I'm going to start over. I'll save one family. Well, let's call them Noah's family. I'm going to get this one boat maker to make a boat. And, but I'm going to make it rain. Give me one, like this spring. We're going to make it rain like it's the spring of 2022. And so the day came where it started to rain. Give me one. And it rained. And it rained. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. You don't believe me? Pick up your Gagikwe Mezini Igan, the Bible. That's what it said in there. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And it flooded everything. Except for this ark, this big old boat, where Noah had gathered up 2 of every kind of animal. Not 2 of every animal. There's the dog kind, and the cat kind, and the lizard kind, and the elephant kind, whatever. And he floated around up there. Well, when the rain finally stopped, some of the animals had weathered the storm just fine. There was Mishike, of course, turtle. Turtles, they can swim underwater just fine. They got their own little house there. Nobody really knows how it works, but it's almost like turtles can breathe underwater. Can turtles breathe underwater? I don't know. They don't have gills, but they stay underwater for a long time. Yeah. So turtle didn't mind a big old rain at all. Mashike. And then, of course, there was Zhangguishi, the mink. Zhangguishi, he's a good swimmer too. You know, he's got those webbed feet with the claws. Zhangguishi. Only thing Zhangguishi has to worry about, floods aren't a problem for him. For Zhangguishi, his problem is my Uncle Vernon. How so? Well, you know, if he gets caught in a trap line, Vernon doesn't trap anymore. Yeah, but back in the day, my Uncle Vernon used to trap these guys. Anyway, Zhangguishi, the mink. So he floats up to the top and he joins, you know, Mashike. Then there's Mung, the loon. Mung. He comes floating by, you know. Loons, they're good swimmers and good floaters. You know, he's floating around. And finally, little muskrat. Wojciech, not a mink. Michael, he called Wojciech a mink. That's... sorry. What's with your voice? I don't know. Yeah, I screwed that up. Yeah, Wojciech doesn't mean that. I mean... I don't want to teach the kids bad words or words wrong. I don't want to teach them bad words either. Nope. How do we do this? Okay. Mashike is the turtle. Mung is the loon, Zhangguishi is the mink, and Wojciech is a muskrat, little muskrat. Or as they call them in Bina, mushrats. But a little muskrat, you know, they all kind of floated together and they're looking out at the water. And all the way to the horizon, all they could see was nothing but water. You're like, oh, wow, what are we going to do? Well, they thought about it for a while, and pretty soon, Mashike, he goes, you know what, I got an idea. I kind of feel like if somebody wants to go down to the bottom, go grab a little bit of that earth. Bring it up here, and we'll have a ceremony or something. We can put that earth on my back, and we'll pray to Gitchi Manadu and maybe sing a song or something. And I believe that with his help, and the power of the four winds, the winds from the four directions, we can create a new land. And they're like, well, Mashike, you know, you're our elder. You're very wise. So, yeah, okay. Right away, Zhangguishi goes, okay, I'm going to go down and grab some earth. I'll be right back. And he pulled in some air, took a big gulp of air, and dove in. And he swam, and he swam, and he swam. It was just dark down there. Swam, and so he couldn't get to the bottom. He finally comes back up. Oh, I swam and I swam, said the little mink. And I couldn't even get to the bottom. It's really deep down there. Well, pretty soon, Mung, he goes, hey, step aside, will you? Let me give it a try. I should have did this in the first place. I'm a great swimmer. I'm the loon, for crying out loud. So Mung, he takes a big gulp of air. And he dives in. Bloop. And he swims down and down. And he swims and he swims and he swims. And he swims away. And it's really dark down there. And he can't make it to the bottom. And he comes back up. Oh, you know what? You're right. It was deep down there. Because, yeah, I told you, huh? And goes, man, I swam and I swam, but I couldn't even reach the bottom. There's no way, man. It's too deep. I'm like, what are we going to do? Well, just then, a little voice speaks up from behind that conversation circle of these three guys. And he's like, maybe I should give it a try. And they all kind of laugh. They're like, oh, come on. Come on now, Wojciech. If the mighty Mung loon can't do it, what hope do you think you have? And he goes, well, I'd like to give it a try. I'm like, okay, go ahead. So he takes a big breath of air, says a little prayer, says a big breath of air, and he dives in. And he swims, and he swims, and he swims. Meanwhile, up on the surface, those guys are like, hello, Wojashki. Thinks he can swim all the way to the bottom, huh? But as the minutes passed, they started to really get worried. Pretty soon, Zheng Guishi was like, you know what? He's been gone a long time. Mashika's like, yeah, he has. Meng goes, somebody should go down and get him. I'm going to go down. Well, just then, they see this black figure slowly floating to the surface. And it was Wojashk. And he had died. And the boys, they started to cry. No, our little brother, Wojashk why did you do such a foolish thing? Why did you risk your life? And they started to cry. And they sang a mourning song. Something like this. Wait and they cried. And their song traveled all across the water, the surface of the deep. And just then, they looked down and Wojashk's little paw opens up. And there was just a little bit of sand. And they went, look at that, he made it to the bottom after all. Our brother, the mighty Wojashk, made it to the bottom and sacrificed his life so we could start a new land. And then they sang an honor song in honor of their fallen brother. And their song carried across the water once again. And just then, Gitchi Manadu, the great spirit, he could hear their song. And he called down in a booming voice. Said, hey, listen, fellas, I want you to do something. Put that sand on the back of Mashike's shell. So they put that sand on his back. He goes, I want you to sing that honor song once again. As I call in the winds from the 4 directions. So they started to sing again. And the winds picked up from all the 4 directions. And it created a tornado. And in the middle of that tornado was Mashike. And Mashike started to grow. And he grew. And he grew. And pretty soon, those lines in his shell, they became rivers. And trees sprouted on his back. And he grew and grew until he was the size of North America itself. He became Turtle Island, the land we all live on now. And this is why we call North America Mashike Minase, Turtle Island. And this is the story of Gitchimushka'an, the Great Flood, and the creation of Turtle Island, Mashike Minase. Oh, sweetie. That's a great story. It's so sad. Yeah, it's pretty tragic, really. You know. Wojashk gives his life. He's sort of a messiah figure. You think so? Yeah. To learn more about the Great Flood, I would check out those John Levy, is that his name? Yeah, I love those. The ancient architecture or whatever. Oh, Surrealist, miigwech. Did we get a super chat from Surrealist? We sure did. $50. Chee, miigwech, Surrealist. Thank you so much. She says, miigwech for the great story. Thank you. This story is brought to you today by the generous contributions of viewers like you, surrealist. Nah. If you'd like to support the show. But yeah, there's some YouTube videos out there about how come every town has buildings that seem to be halfway covered in mud. The mud flood, they call it. What's with all these old pictures of these old, cities that seem to have mud streets and no people in them from like the 1800s? I know, they said like ghost towns. Yeah. Like here's San Francisco from up high somehow, a balloon or something. Old black and white picture. Not a soul in sight. Chicago, 1795. Where is everybody? What happened? Was there another flood that somehow we don't remember about that happened in like the last couple hundred years? Left mud everywhere? How come there's all these, like every college has a beautiful stone building that you walk in and like the windows are halfway covered in, halfway into the ground. They even call them like window well. We decided to design a castle here and make the first floor windows stare halfway into the ground. We'll still build windows, but halfway we'll just stare into ground, and then halfway will be, the lawn. We'll have underground tunnels and stuff. Just magnificent architecture. At a time when history tells us, yeah, and then the wagon trains come. What? How did Pa Ingalls build St. Paul? Or whatever. I don't understand history. That's why this is the show about Ojibwe language and culture. You'll notice I don't say it's about Ojibwe history because I'm too dumb to be any kind of an authority. Ah, you're not dumb. Yeah, I'm uneducated. Well, you know what Mark Twain said. What's that? About education and... No, it was about information. What's that? He said, if you don't read the paper, you're uninformed. If you read the paper, you're misinformed. Yeah. If you don't read the paper, you're uninformed. If you do read the paper, you're misinformed. Yeah. Is that what you think education is? Yeah, pretty much. If you get educated, you're misinformed. Yeah. You're almost better off not to be educated. Oh, I don't know any better. Than to have, lies from the man. Oh, did you know in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue? What? And discovered America, Turtle Island? What about the flood? Brian Souls is here, sweetie. He's a soul man. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. He got what he got. The hard way. La-da-da. Each and every way. Brian says, that was a great story. Hey, thanks. Yeah. That's also, I hope I didn't ruin it for anybody. No, we probably already ran. That was also our radio show today. We did like a 10-minute KAXE radio show this morning because I was telling that story. I couldn't shut up. I know. It's supposed to be 5 minutes and we just kept on talking. Yeah. This is my radio station now. You don't like it? And Tony Soprano. You don't like it? I'll tell you what to do. No. What else we got going on in this beautiful Ishkwa Anima egg? You should get, sweetie. You want to take a call? A call? Well, sure. I'll take a call. On line 2? On line 2. Hello, caller. Welcome to the very serious Ojibwe language podcast. You're on the air.
Yes, hello, Nanaboozhoo. It's me, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Oh, hey, Dr. Fauci the Ouchie.
Nah, don't call me that. You gotta get your vaccinations. And put your mask on.
I thought we didn't have to wear masks anymore. Didn't that kind of cute judge say it was okay to walk around freely now?
No, she should follow the science. I don't like this letting people walk around with their faces naked.
Oh, come on, man. Those masks never did anything anyway.
Yeah, they did. They covered up your ugly faces. I don't want to see people's faces anymore.
You never wear a mask.
Well, that's because I've got multiple injections. And I am wearing a mask, by the way.
You are?
Yes, this is a mask. It's the universal mask I wear. It's sometimes I put on a wig and a mask, and sometimes I take the wig off and put on some glasses. That's why people don't know that I'm also CC DeVille. Don't tell anybody, all right?
Don't tell anybody. This is a live stream show on YouTube.
Yeah, but nobody watches your show.
What do you mean nobody? There's how many people are here right now, sweetie? Let's check. 8 people. Yeah. I'll have you know there are 8 loyal viewers. We call them the BOOZHOO crew, who now know your secret.
I don't care about the BOOZHOO crew. I think they should put on masks, 'cause they're ugly.
Hey, man. Now you've gone too far. Say what you will about vaccinations and wearing a mask and following the science and all that. But when you insult my audience, these are my people. This is my crowd. These are my people. This is my music. It makes me proud. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's a Kiss lyric from Crazy Nights. How's that go? This is my music. It makes me proud. These are my people. And this is my crowd. These are crazy, 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 crazy nights for you, Dr. Fauci.
No, get a vaccination. Don't go outside your house. And certainly put a mask on.
Nah. I think I'll take my chances.
You're going to kill us all.
Is that all the reason you called in? Just to pick on me about that? I thought I lived in a free country.
No, you got to follow the CDC.
CDC?
The Center for Disease Control Department.
You don't even know what the department is.
Just wear a mask.
No.
Well, at least put on some eyeliner. Look how cool I look.
Don't you think you're a little old to be wearing eyeliner? And a doctor? You shouldn't be. What's with all the jewelry?
I stopped by Hot Topic and got some cheap necklaces. I think it makes me look kind of rock and roll.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. Oh, you want to learn an Ojibwe word?
I'd love to learn Ojibwe. It's a beautiful language, don't you think?
Yeah, of course I think that. Today is Ishkwa Anima E Gisha Good.
Ishkwa Anima E Gisha Good. After prayer day. Well, you might as well say your prayers now, Nanaboozhoo, because if you don't get an injection, you'll kill us all.
No, I'm not. Today is Monday.
Monday. How come you're not at work?
Because I'm a bum.
Yeah. You think you know it all. You don't even have a job.
I have a job. I have a radio job. And this is my job. I made $50 doing this. How much did you make being on my show?
I guess nothing.
Yeah. So whatever.
All right, then. Hey, teach me one more word, will you?
Sure. What word would you like to learn, Dr. Fauci?
How do you say goodbye in Ojibwe?
We don't really say goodbye. We say, I will see you again. Gigawabamin, minawa.
Well, gigawabamin, minawa, Nanaboozhoo.
Yeah, you do, you creepy weirdo.
Gigawabamin, minawa, Natasha.
Gigawabamin, minawa, Dr. Fauci. It kind of gives me the creeps. Well, you can trust him. He's a doctor. Yeah. He's a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. Remember that commercial? Yeah. You'd have some, soap opera actor. Are there still soap operas? I think so. I think there's still Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives. How about General Hospital? Was that a soap opera? Yeah, I think so. Soap operas. They just had a running story forever. for decades. They have to just make up the story as they filmed it. That is a brilliant kind of idea for TV. Let's see what else. Got Dr. Fauci. Did you want to get up here, sweetie? I could get up there, talk to the BOOZHOO crew. Yeah. I'm going to let Natasha get up here. But first, oh, here's a good song. This is a song that was my grandmother's favorite to hear. It's a song by, I always thought it was an Elvis Presley song because I heard it from Elvis first. But it turns out Willie Nelson wrote this song. And this song is about a guy who maybe, I think this is why it was my grandmother's favorite song. Another story. That's what I am. I'm a storyteller. And there was snow on the ground this morning, so it's okay if I tell these stories, by the way, you guys. For any culture cops out there, like, hey, you can't tell stories until the snow is on the ground. Yeah, well, guess what? There was snow on the ground this morning. So, here's a story. Adizuke. Or Dobaji Moen. Back in the days of the grandfathers. My grandfather was in a war they called World War II. And he was one of those guys like G.I. Joe, where they sent him off into the jungle. He had to storm the beaches in the Philippines. And he had a machine gun. He had to fight. And he was gone for 3 years. For the first 3 years of my father's life, his dad was fighting in a war in the jungle. And when he came back, my grandma, by this time, had a 3-year-old boy she'd been raising by herself. And she had gone into the work. She took a job in the city, working for what she called the airline. But she was Rosie the Riveter. She worked on fighter planes. And when the war ended, they moved back to the res. So my grandpa could work in the woods. Or I think he did both. He worked in the woods and he was a fishing guide. And she never told me this part of the story, but I always imagined there was a conversation where he came back and apologized for not staying in touch. During the war, I guess Helen still has some letters, or at least a letter from Grandpa to Grandma. But mostly, I think there was a conversation where he said, look, I know you've been here all on your own. And I was off in the war. And I want you to know that even though I didn't write as often as I should have, and I didn't call and all this, that you were always on my mind. And this is always on my mind. Miigwech Bizendawiyeg. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. And if I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely nights. And I guess I never told you that I'm so happy that you're mine. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died, and give me Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. I'll keep you satisfied. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. BOOZHOO! I just teleported out here during the song. You didn't see it, but that's why I'm standing out here on a country road. Country roads take me home to the place where I can pray on a country road with the same kitchen do. O tapanani we asema. I was going to say a little prayer because it's the day after prayer day. Anima A is a prayer. Anima A is pray. I'm going to Anima A on this Ishkwa Anima A Gisha good on this after prayer day. So, I've said before, if there's anyone new, I offer tobacco, not just when I pray, but in the old way, to offer tobacco to someone is to, it was customary before you went to speak to like an elder or a medicine man or something, if you're going to ask them for their consideration of something, you would bring tobacco. So I always offer tobacco when I pray. And I say, Gichi Manadu, Great Spirit. Daga, Odapana Niwi Asema. Please, Daga, please. Odapana Niwi Asema. Accept Niwi Asema, my tobacco. And then I'll just pray. Gichi Manadu. Mikwech Gaiji Kakina Geku. Gaiji Chikean. Noon Goom. Thank you for everything that you do today. Everything. You know, from keeping my heart beating to making the wind blow to making the grass grow and my hair grow and the water flow. I will fight no more forever. Nah. Thank you for everything, Gichi Manadu. Dagawi duka wishin ando minaway noon gum. Please help me to speak well. I don't know why we don't start our shows with prayers more often. I always wait till the show's almost over. I'm like, hey, by the way, help me to speak well today. But most of the time when we get done doing the show, I do say a prayer and I thank the Creator for our shows. Because it seems like he's got something to do with some of the random funny things that happen. Or sometimes I think some of the conversations we get into, it's almost like it was meant to happen. But anyway, miigwech for that. Miigwech ka'ishi b'madasiyan. Thank you for my life. You know, we do kawishin. Help me. Help me to stand the red road. Help me to stand this country red road. Country roads, take me home. Help me to not just fart away my rest of my day. Sometimes I take these long naps with Bagheera, our big cat. He's not fat. He's just really big. He's a little fat, but that just makes him cuddly. But sometimes, like yesterday, I got back from church. Had a big meal with the family out at the Green Mill. Then just thought I'd lie down for 3 hours. And you wake up and it's like all groggy. 3-hour naps don't refresh anybody. It's like you just started a cycle over again. Then I go to bed at a normal hour. And I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, wide awake. And I'm like, I think I'm jet lagged. That stupid cat, she's just so wonderful to sleep with that I end up sleeping in the middle of the day. So I don't know. Am I praying that you don't let me take a nap? I guess I don't want to pray for that, but help me be productive at least. GOFUNDME, please help Michael stay on task with his cartoons. The Nanaboozhoo Natasha coloring book / Ojibwe language reference guide is a really cute idea, and I think people would like it. We'll probably just give it away, but help him to stay on task so we can get it done before too late. Michael's working on a coloring book, and it's taking forever. I mean, it's going to take forever, but he hasn't drawn in a while, and he was just commenting this morning how he forgot just how much work there is involved. You know, one drawing can take hours of effort. And your average coloring book's got to be like 100 pages long. So it's going to be something else. Anyway, this is a stupid prayer. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Thank you for my life. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you for providing me. Quetch, me quetch, me quetch. GOFUNDME. Odapanani Wesema. Apenge. Amen. I don't know. Doo-noo. There's a bull over there. Doo-doo-moo. Little gift he left the world that'll help fertilize these weeds. Doo-doo-moo. Moo-on is the verb, but moo is the noun of, Pooh, not Winnie the Pooh. And doo-noo is a bull. So bull poo, bull poopy would be doo-doo-moo. And there's a lot of bull poopy out there. I didn't realize just how much nonsense lies were in the news, in our history books, in our science books, until I got way older. Now, and I think as a lot of us, as we get older, you kind of wake up from the hypnotic spell of all the crap they teach you in school, in college, on the news. Oh, they're landing on Mars today. Yeah, no, they're not. That's doo-doo-moo too. But I made a quote just a few minutes ago, to Nanaboozhoo of Mark Twain. And I thought that made me sound really smart. And Mark Twain said about the media, if you don't read the paper, you're uninformed. But if you do read the paper, like the newspaper, you're misinformed. Well, if you don't go to college, you're uneducated. And you lack knowledge. And if you go to college, you're miseducated and you have misinformation. I used to think, well, not me, I'm an English major. There's no indoctrination in poetry. But now I see that, no, the whole thing was, indoctrination. who we were told were great poets, what all the politics and historical stuff around it. Everything had kind of a woman studies slant and critical race theory slant in my college education. It was like, hey, did you know William Shakespeare was a racist and a sexist? Here's my paper on how racism and sexism are addressed in the works of, William Butler Yeats. The Emancipation, It was tons of just like political correctness stuff. So it's no wonder when I was like right out of college, and for decades later, I'm older than I look, I was the biggest social justice warrior in the world. I thought America was the worst place in the world, and that everybody was racist. Everybody, even black people, were racist against Indians. I actually said stuff like, white people are mentally ill and they hate Indians. Because I had become educated. I had to get dumb before I finally went, wait a second. Why am I saying that? That's not true. Why do I believe that? It's like, well, all this propaganda you fed yourself through a college. And then the kind of stupid left-wing media you consume. But if I look out my window and actually go talk to the people, it's like, hey, does anybody hate me for being a woman of color? Nope. It's just, is America the worst place in the world for a woman of color to live? Nope. The best place, actually. Number one best place in the world for a woman of color to live. Nobody has it better as a woman of color than an American woman of color. Maybe a Canadian. I don't know. But not Chinese women in China. Not African women in Africa. Not Mexican women in Mexico. Not any woman anywhere is treated with more dignity, more opportunity, total equality than American woman. Get away from me, American woman. Mama, let me be. No. But yeah, so as a Native American woman, I had to kind of wake up from the spell and quit believing that everybody hated me. It's like, oh, they all hate us. They're going to censor a Native American woman right off the butter box. And that's what they did. They were like, this racist country. Look at this Indian woman on this. Maybe I should play that. That's pretty funny, actually. You guys want to see my commercial? Let me see if I can find it quickly. Remember when they got rid of the Land O'Lakes girl? Because of racism? At that same time, we decided to make a commercial for butter. NanaBOOZHOO and Natasha will return after these messages. BOOZHOO! And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha, and today, our Ojibwe word of the day. You call it butter. We call it milk grease. Doo-doo shaboo bimate. Doo-doo shaboo bimate. Milk grease or butter. Brought to you by your friends at Land O'Lakes. Aki, land. Zagat Iganin, lakes. Land O'Lakes. Now, please welcome NanaBOOZHOO! Take it away, baby. You call it butter. We call it milk grease. But, There was a time I would have been right there going, yeah, why don't they get rid of that racist stereotype on Land O'Lakes? You know what else makes me mad? That Indian guy on the Village People. Ooh, that's so racist. now I'm like, what are you kidding? That's my favorite Village People person. YMCA. It's fun to play Indian in the Village People. There's a policeman and an Indian guy. Here comes the army guy and construction worker at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Although one song I really liked was Macho, Macho Man. I got to be a macho man. Anyway, what am I doing? Yeah, I used to think the world was super racist right when I got out of college. And I don't think it was more racist in the early to mid 90s than it is today. You know, so what happened? I think I took the red pill. I was like, what? No, wait. Just the opposite. This isn't, I don't think this country's racist at all. If anything, I think they really get a kick out of us grassroots Indians. Anyway, I should go back.
Okay, BOOZHOO.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, honey. Ready to come home?
Yep. I think I've denied racism long enough for one morning.
Were you denying racism?
Kinda. Just talking about, how great America is and all that.
Yeah, you're a real patriot.
I am. I love her. I love this country. It's so awesome.
All right, you want to come home?
Sure.
All right, hang on. I'm going to scan for your coordinates.
All right.
All right, I got you. Don't move.
I won't.
1 to teleport.
Make it so, number 1.
Hey, sweetie.
Oh, hi.
How is it out there?
It was nice where I was. It wasn't even raining. You took me out. You beamed me out to a country road.
Yeah, I beamed you out to that old country road where it doesn't rain.
Yeah. I saw some bull. Started talking about doo-doo moo.
You started talking about bull crap?
Yeah. I think that's where I got on the issue of, this country ain't that bad. It's a bunch of doo-doo moo. I believed when I was a college student. Kind of like how I believed, that the world was ending through global warming. Oh, I'm a climate activist. Good luck with that. Anyway. Shirley says, racism was used to justify killing women and children to steal their lands and way of life. But was it racism or was it just conquering? I think they would have done that if those were white people too. I think people did conquer and kill women and children in white countries too. I just think that my college wanted me angry or something. Like I don't feel oppressed anymore. I guess ever since Joe Biden became president, everything kind of worked out.
He's been a great president.
He has. Ending racism and that.
Yeah.
He's got my vote.
I'm waiting for Kamala to become president.
That would be really great. President Harris. Harrison?
Kamala Harris.
Isn't it insane? We don't even know. I think Harrison. I think I'm thinking of, what's his name from Iron Maiden?
Oh, yeah. The bass player.
Yeah, I forget his name. Anyway, you guys, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for stopping. Did you want to add anything?
I want to remind them of the books.
Oh, sure. If you'd like to order a book by Michael Lyons until his coloring book gets done, there's a few pages of coloring material in this book, but OJIBERISH is a collection of cartoons by Michael Lyons. And the story, Little Cutie, which we don't have the cover for. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Little Cutie, a teddy bear's fishing quest. All this is available and comics and books by Michael Lyons at Amazon.com. Amazon.com, baby, baby. Yeah? Thank you very much. And you have been watching Miigwech Bizadawi Egg. Thank you so much for listening. I really do mean it. Dash Miigwech Ganawabi Egg. Thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is NANABOOZHOO. Okay, Miigwech. This is Michael Lyons. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minawa. Baby doll, one more time. Teleporting, sweetie pie. See you tomorrow. Make it so, number one. No.